Thank you for visiting PianoLessonsForLife.com. My name is Greg. I'm your personal piano professor, and I'm here to help you learn a little bit more about rootless voicings, jazz chords, chords that make your music sound jazzy. Just to start, well, a rootless voicing, why we have them is they're basically, by definition, they're a chord without a root, and we use them. Basically, my first use of them was to play ninth chords in a blues band. You know, I wanted to play some ninth chords, and you know, I'm used to playing my root position C7 chord there, and my F7 chord. You know, in an inversion like that with the standard root third, fifth, and seventh. Well, to add the ninth, you know, I had to add that D note, 9 notes away from C. And boy, you run out of fingers really quick. I suppose I could play it like that, but basically you take the root away, then you've got the third, fifth, seventh, and ninth, and you can even leave out that fifth. So that was my first rootless voicing that I ever learned, was 3, 7, 9, and it's a great one. In fact, you know, I ended up learning that in all 12 keys, so that I could always play a bluesy sounding ninth chord when I needed to. So my 3, 7, instead of playing a standard seventh chord, now I can play this kind of a nice jazzy voicing. Okay, those 3, 7, 9 voicing, and of course I touched the root there, so you would know. Normally in a band, the bass player would be playing that; you wouldn't even have to do it. So that's why we use them, basically, because the bass player is playing the root, and we need extra fingers to play the jazz tensions 7, 9, 11, and 13. So in our first diagram, and we're working in the key of C, nice and easy to see. Root third, fifth, 7, 9. Okay, rootless voicing. Take the root off. We've got third, 7, 9. Yeah, well, third, fifth, seventh, and ninth. And if you look at that, that's actually an E minor 7 chord. So if you know that chord already, you know a C major 7th with an added ninth, just by virtue of adding C as a bass note. Okay, for minor 7th, of course we've got root 3rd, 5th, 7th to add the ninth. Again, it's that same note, the D note. Well, take the root off, and there they are. So we've got a C minor 7 with an added 9, which actually looks like an E flat major 7th chord. There's the C minor 7th. Now, because I got a bass down there, I can add that extra color, the ninth, on top by just playing the C and then an E major 7th chord on top. Now, for the 7th chords, when we turn those into ninths, those ones are a little bit different. The rootless chord, well, basically I said 3, 7, 9, but a lot of times we'll add this 13th in there, which is the A note, and that gives it a jazzy sound. It's 2. It's optional. I don't use it a lot, but it's in there too. You can use that 13th, and that's what letting go of the root allows us to do, add those colorful tensions into our chords. So basically that's it. We take the root off, and then we play the rest of the chord notes on top there. Now, there's really 2 positions. Let's take that minor 7th chord we played. The A position would be 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. There's another one that starts on the 7th. So our A positions always start on the 3rd for minor chord 3, 5, 7, 9. And then there's another inversion that starts on the 7th. So 7, 9, 3, 5. There's the first position, or A position, and there's the second one. Okay, so there's 2 positions for the minor 7th chord, also for the 7th chord, or dominant 9th chord, whatever you want to call that. We've got position 1 again, starts on the 3rd, and then it's got the 13th, 7th, and 9th. And then the second one starts on the 7th, 7, 9, 3, 13. Okay, so we've got the bluesy chords. There's the first one, the A one, here's the second one. That's the B inversion of the, or the B version of the F chord. Back to the A version of the C chord, the C ninth chord. So we've got two positions to play those chords, A and B positions, and again you want to learn those up and down the keyboard. In the case of the minor seventh one, position A, position B, position A, position B, and also in both hands, position A, B, A, B. You want to practice those so you're fluid with both hands on there too. Now, practical use in jazz, the 2-5-1 progression is probably the most common you're going to see, or 2-5-1-6. And normally with root position chords, you would play 2, D minor 7, 5, 1, and 6 would be A minor 7. 2, 5, 1, 6. Now using our rootless chords, the 2 chord, the 5 chord, 1 chord. So instead of, we've got, notice my fingers are doing the same thing, at least in the key of C. 2, 5, 1. I've got the top 2 fingers move down, bottom 2 fingers move down. Same with the rootless chords. 2, top 2 fingers move down for the G7, and for the C major ninth there, the bottom 2 fingers move down. So they feel exactly the same. So if I was playing the standard root chords, okay, now I'll play it with the rootless voicings. So I'll add the roots in there. Notice actually the only difference between a D minor 7th chord and the G 9th chord is just the root. I didn't even have to change a note. I could change the 3rd there and then resolve to the C chord too. So it gives us the rootless voicings enable us to add color intentions, add those notes, 11ths, 9ths, and 13ths. And I'm just going to play a little bit with a little jazz progression and let you see what I'm doing here. Let's start it out. A little 2-5, you'll hear the bass player playing so that I don't have to touch those root notes. Let's add another piano here. Rootless voicing. I didn't have to even do anything. I'm trying to change my piano sound here. Okay, A position minor, 1 note change. Okay, there's my C major 9 chord. Here we're going to go a little bit of and 2, 1. So you see, I didn't have a lot of motion in my right hand. I mean, basically to play that whole progression, all I needed was the 2 chords. The D minor 7, which really to me I'm thinking F major 7 and E minor 7. And that covers all 4 chords in the 1-2-5-1 chord. 2-5-1-6 progression, okay? There's 2, 2 chords here, 4 bass notes. Okay, so it's also makes you playing a little bit easier using some of these substitution chords, I guess you'd call them, or jazz chords. I'll speed it up a little bit, and we'll try it one more time and give you another look at how I might do it. Now, there's lots of variations. The great thing about jazz is that you can just about play anything and have it be, it used to be when people would make mistakes in our rock band, we'd say close enough for jazz, because in jazz you can lose a lot of off-color notes, or notes that sound a little bit dissonant, and get away with it. Anyways, close enough for jazz, so let's go ahead and start a little bit here and play it up a little quicker. You ready? Let's get back to my piano. Okay, so you get to see me use some rootless voicings. I hope that was a helpful video. Also like to invite you to ask questions and make comments on the website. There's a bunch of ways you can contact me, and I want to thank you again for participating. A lot of these lessons I do get ideas from you guys, so keep on writing in with your questions, and hopefully we'll all get a little bit better by helping each other along. Thanks for visiting.